Hey guys, just going to take a minute today to go over some things that I learned after I bought my land in Tennessee. I want to try to help some people out if they're doing the same things that I'm doing. As far as should you go off grid or get connected to city water and electric and whatnot. I didn't really realize this, but after I got my land in Tennessee, it's probably the same in most states, but everything's connected. You cannot get any utilities, like I said, and this is just Tennessee. You can't get any utilities until you get what is called a E911 address. And basically, even on that form says they don't 911 address empty lots, they only address buildings. So what I did is I put my septic tank in and I kind of made it look like, there was a building going to go there and whatnot. I had it staked off where the house was, and the guy came out and he approved it. I guess he did apply a little common sense to the situation, which usually you don't get that, but he went ahead and approved it. What I didn't know is once you get your E911 address, basically all they do is come out and put GPS in the center of your lot and record that. That way, if you ever call 911, they know exactly where the house is. So also, after you get your E911 address, they fax over to the tax appraiser's office that you're doing work out there. So I've already gotten a notice. I don't live out there yet. I've done some work. You guys probably seen the videos. My tax rate has already gone up. I'm not sure how much it's going up, but by the percentage, it looks like it's going to go up from about $240 a year. And I have over 11 acres. It looks like it's going to be going up to right around 400, I believe, just by looking at the assessment. But I'm not that good with calculators and figuring out percentages and stuff, so that's something to think about. So basically, if you're going to go off grid, you need to be, at least in Tennessee again, you need to be totally off grid. Here's the bottom part of my electrical permit, and it even says right on here, like read the bottom here, it says they will not give you electric until application for permit for subsurface sewage disposal system has been made. Like I said, I already got my septic system put in, and I'm kind of thinking if I could have gone back and redid this. I spent basically $6,000 on the septic system, and it was $500 just for the permit. So, and the guy that designed the state inspector, everybody already warned me about him. He's by the book. He makes you put in this huge system. I mean, the land that they cleared just for the septic was huge. I mean, I'll drive by houses that are like in a development where there's houses like stacked right next to each other, and they all got septic tanks. It's like, okay, so if they can fit a septic system in this little yard, there's the houses one after the other, why do I have to clear out like a whole acre? So it's kind of, but oh well. I mean, it kind of pissed me off at first, but at least I got some more clearing done, and I'm gonna have all grass there, and it's no big deal. But back to the topic here. So if anybody out there is thinking about getting land, think about that. Look up what, it's kind of common sense, but look up, what the tax is going to be yearly on the property. Like mine's really cheap, and that's one of the reasons why. It's kind of way out in the middle of nowhere. It's like a half an hour drive into Clarksville, but it's worth it to me to travel the extra distance to be way out in the woods. I don't have many neighbors. It's not a through street where I live. It's kind of a dead end. Very rural. Basically, what I could have done, I could have just called the septic company, had them come out and put a system in, and probably could have got one for about $3,000, and then one off grid, and my taxes wouldn't go up. And I don't think they'd even know that I'm building out there, because the tax appraisal lady called me up, and she couldn't even find where my lot was, because it's like way the hell out there. So just something to think about. You know, check into the wells. Like my well, I don't have one, but they want between 10 and 12 grand, and I didn't know that. And then I priced it after I bought the property, and I'm not going to get a well because it's just too much money. I can't afford it. So I'm just going to, they were going to run city water out to my road, but now they didn't get the funding for it, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So basically I'm going to be investing in a water containment system. So that's my plan now. So that's kind of a huge deal there with the no water, but I just want to share some of the things I'm going through, that way I can help somebody else out. That's kind of like why I'm on YouTube, because I want to interact with other people that are doing the same things that I'm doing and share the same interests. So hopefully this will help somebody out. Remember, everything's connected. You can't go out, at least in Tennessee, and expect to just get electric with no septic, or septic without electric, or you have to get your E911 address. And I guess if you did want a nice little bug out camp or whatever, and it probably would be good to not get your E911. I mean, nobody could find you or look you up on a computer or whatever. So that's another way to look at it. You know, if you wanted to be really secluded, like my cabin sits about 500 feet off the road, so it's really secluded out there. I really like it. And I don't care if it takes me longer to drive into town, it's worth it, just to be able to do what I want on my own land. There's no building codes on my land. All I needed was an electric permit and a septic permit. I already have the septic totally signed off on. It's finished. And when I go back up to the cabin, I'm going to get my rough and electric inspection. I'm going to finish that, and then probably sometime after that I can get my final. And then once they finalize my electric, I won't have to deal with anybody ever again, maybe just a tax guy. So something to think about. You know, I'm new to it. I've only owned property once in my life, and it was short-lived. I owned a house like 20-something years ago in Miami, and I ended up losing my house through a breakup with my girlfriend. So kind of new to buying land. But I got a good deal on my land. I got it from a family member, and I pretty much had to buy it because he sold it to me for what he paid for it, and I got a good deal on it. So I hope this helps somebody. Just something to think about. I know a lot of people are wanting to move way out in the middle of nowhere like I did. So alright guys, thanks for watching, and see you later.